Hello everybody and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. Waking up nice and early this morning, and we're kind of just gonna go through what is going to be my daily routine for the rest of this week. So every morning I wake up and I just check around the farm, see if there's anything I can catch, anything that I can grab. Watering and fertilizing my crops is also gonna be a priority so that I can water them twice. And also because this does take quite a bit of time, especially if you keep expanding and you grow more and more stuff in your field. So for now, we have a nice, healthy supply of turnips, and our goal for most of the season, really, most of spring, is going to be to grow as many turnips as we can. We're going to be depending heavily, if not almost solely, on turnips for our money that we're going to be getting at the bazaar. So once I've done my watering, I'm just gonna go around town. I'll probably talk to any villager that I see. At this stage in the game, really early on, I'm not super concerned with giving out gifts. I might give out the occasional bug or the occasional herb or something, but I want to keep everything that I can to sort of just get my farm going, get profits going. And you will be doing a lot of bug catching. A lot of bug catching. So keeping my eye out for flowers, those are going to be really important. We have the flower festival starting next week. So just taking the time to say hello to a few people here. And you'll sort of get familiar with the town very, very quickly because there is such a short amount to explore. You'll kind of figure out your own route. I sort of just go in a circle. So I start at the farm and I just make my way in an L shape. And generally, because I'm going to use shortcuts to get back to the top part of this screen, I'll worry about talking to people and going to Raul's shop kind of later on in the day. So just, again, going along. Lots and lots of flowers. Now, drops are completely random, so the amount of flowers that you're going to have for the flower festival is really just going to vary and be completely RNG. You might have more rocks or more branches or more weeds. But there is pretty much a guarantee for wild items to spawn every single day. So you just want to make sure that you have the room for all of those things. Because your bag space will fill up really, really quickly. And the one thing that is really irritating about the quality aspect of this game is that every single item you pick up will take up inventory space if it's a different quality. So you can see that I have 3 different rocks. They're the same item. They're all rocks, but because they have different qualities, they all count as their own item. So this is another thing that will fill up your inventory very, very quickly. And it's one of the reasons that inventory space is just such a struggle, because you want to pick up everything that you can, and there gets to be a point where we just can't anymore. And we've already caught enough critters to level up, which just shows you how much that we've been catching bugs already. And then it isn't necessary to go into the hotel, but I guess today we're going to be seeing a heart event, so hey, that's cool to just randomly walk into one. Hi, Daisy. Hello. You just moved to this town, right? Yep, we literally just met yesterday. My family lives out in the city, but I fell in love with this town, so I moved to this hotel and got a job here. I love the crisp air, and the windmills are so pretty. Do you like this town? I mean, so far, yeah, everybody is really nice, and it's beautiful. Nobody litters, it's wonderful. It probably has super clean air, too. I'm really glad you moved here. Oh, well, thank you. And once you answer their heart events in a positive way, you will get a huge bonus amount of friendship as well. And Daisy is a character that does like butterflies, so if you're into Daisy, you want to increase her friendship, butterflies are an easy gift to give her. Sherry is another one of the marriage candidates that likes butterflies. Sometimes I kind of just stop in the hotel as habit, just to make sure that I'm saying hi to those characters and their friendship levels don't dip. You can also see that there's this glowing spot on the ground. These are completely random. You can find many of them or none at all. And I would recommend keeping hold of any coins and saving them to sell at the bazaar. Don't sell them to Raoul because you'll make way more money selling them at the bazaar. Now, it only took me about 5 minutes, I would say, if we're not including the heart event, to make a full sweep of this map. It really is a very, very small map. So you can do circles around this map multiple times a day. You can just do zoomies around it when you're looking for things. So once you've foraged everything and you've said hi to some of the villagers, you can go around again, collecting bugs, saying hello to other villagers you might have missed. We are gonna go to Raoul's shop, obviously. I forgot to fertilize, apparently, this morning. And I'm gonna be short a few anyways, because I ended up buying 2 more turnip seeds yesterday. So we're now up to 14 plots of turnips, and we definitely want to up that number if possible. And if you're playing along or you're thinking of playing this and you're not seeing the same numbers that I am, don't get frustrated. There is definitely an RNG aspect to this because it really does depend on whether or not you get coins to sell and you get, you know, more money that way, or if you get stuff while you're diving into the water. It depends on what bugs you catch. There's a lot of aspects to this that can get in the way of you making money. I want to finish this game in a fairly efficient amount of time, but I'm definitely not at the level where I can grind and I know every single step that there is to take and I can finish this game up and get the largest bazaar in the shortest amount of time. I would say that we're going to be playing for a minimum of 3 years. We'll probably make it into late year 3, year 4. And I know from experience that the getting married and family aspect of this game also takes a very, very long time. Like, your child grows incredibly slowly, like really, really slowly. So we need to keep that in mind as well. We probably won't wait a very long time to get married. There is one marriage candidate that we don't get to meet until year 2, but I may actually end up not including her at all because she's got some special circumstances and it would take me a very long time to actually marry her. So I'm not super sure on the exact timeline yet because I'm not really that far ahead of where I am right now in my practice file. But my understanding is that if you know absolutely everything that there is to know and you are as efficient as humanly possible, you can get the biggest bazaar in the game before your 3rd year. But I don't want to rush it. So this process of selling stuff does take quite a while. I wish that you could just select a bunch of items all at once and just sell that way, but you can't, unfortunately. So we made a pretty decent amount of money though. We're at just over $700. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to buy the fertilizer that I need. I need 16 of them because I have 14 crops minus the 2 that I didn't fertilize. And then I'm going to use my remaining cash to buy more turnip seeds. And I'm absolutely gonna just empty out my wallet. I'm down to my last $75. And I know that that probably seems really, really scary. I mean, it goes against all your instincts playing Harvest Moon. You usually want to save your supplies, you want to save your money, but in this game you really have to go ham for being successful on Bazaar Day. I mean, there are just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So at this point, I would just make another round, probably looking for more bugs, because that's really all there is left to do. Because we're not going to be able to get anything else off the ground. I've foraged everything that there is to forage. So I'll just be taking the time here to talk to some other villagers that I missed earlier. Say hi to everybody. Wilbur, if you want to be good friends with him, he's an easy one. Give him stones. I don't have any on me because I sold them, but you could just give him rocks. He loves rocks, apparently. And I guess I can go and say hello to Joan and Marion since I've skipped them. And then head back to my farm and plant the rest of my turnips. So I know that seems very boring, but that's pretty much going to be my days for the rest of the week. Take care of the farm first thing in the morning. Go out and forage everything that I can off the ground. Making a circle around town. Going to Raoul, selling everything. Making another circle. And then going back to the farm again, planting anything that I bought from Raoul. And if I have the stamina, I can do some more water plunging here, diving, whatever you want to call it, to use up some extra stamina, hopefully catch some things that I can use to sell. We don't have a fishing rod right now, so that's out of the picture. I don't have other tools like a hammer or an axe. We don't have access to any of the windmills right now. So you're really just sort of doing the best that you can, making the most of what you have. It really is a grind at the beginning to make money. And unfortunately, all the tools and stuff that you need are at the bazaar. So the bazaar really is the big granddaddy of all things happening in this game. Bazaar days are very, very important. And it won't be this way forever. We will get more advanced. We'll get access to those windmills eventually. You know, we'll be able to do some more cooking. There are going to be things that we can do. So, let's see. How many do we have now? We've got 18, which isn't so bad. We've already expanded by a couple of turnips. And then the other thing I guess I didn't mention with catching bugs is that you have to have an empty set of hands in order to catch them. So if I try to catch a bug and I have a watering can, you can see that I'll actually use the watering can in the air. So make sure you have empty hands. And at this point, I've got some more bugs to sell, so I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna sell my bugs, I'm gonna buy more fertilizer, I'm gonna buy more turnips if I can, and we're just basically gonna be hustling for those turnips. Progress, I will admit, is pretty slow in this game in terms of unlocking things to do. It is extremely repetitive. I did mention that in the last video. I usually just turn the volume off on this and I put on a good show, put on a podcast or an audiobook or something that you like doing, and just grind it out. So I need to buy 8 more bags of fertilizer. And at this point in time, I could only afford 1 more bag of turnips, really, if I wanted to. So I'm gonna wait. I'll come back. And I haven't used my bathroom or my tub yet, so I can probably afford to throw myself in the river a couple more times. It is 100% random. I don't find that any one spot produces better results than the other. So just play around with it. Just try different spots and see if you have better luck with any other spot than the other. Ooh, an ore stone. Ooh, nice. We're getting some goodies already. This game is probably one of the only Harvest Moon games I can think of that just straight up does not have mining. You never mine at any point in this game, which is slightly disappointing because I do think it would make this game have a little bit more to do. I will talk about ways to get ore. One of them is obviously jumping into the river like we've been doing. And so far, we are having phenomenal luck. That is incredible to get a piece of gold and an ore stone. Wow, okay. This apparently is the best spot for me to go diving. Wow. Okay. Oh, hello, and everybody's coming home from work, so we'll say hello to these guys. Ivan's also a teacher. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's just interesting that we have 2 teachers in this game and not a single doctor character, which is another thing I find really odd. Because most games, you know, they have some doctor character or a nurse. This game does not. Everybody just lives in this wonderful world where nobody gets sick. The assumption is, though, that everybody goes to the city if they need that kind of treatment. Because you have so many people that work outside the city. I mean, there's no hospital here, there's no school, there's no nothing. The only thing that people come to us for is the bazaar, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and restore my stamina that I used diving into the water. You do want to make sure to watch your stamina very, very closely because our crops are the top priority. But you can see it's about 7 o'clock now, and if I wanted to, I could go to bed. As soon as I do that second watering of these crops, that's pretty much my main objective done for the day. But if you want to maximize your days, I do recommend using up all of your stamina that you have in a day. So it is boring and it is random, but throwing yourself into the rivers is going to be a good way to potentially earn some extra cash and to get some rare items. But I will admit I don't always do it just because I can't be bothered. But it does eat up your stamina rather quickly. So you'll probably only have to jump in the water a handful of times before you're just too tired and you have to go home. So that's what my routine is going to look like for this week. I probably won't do another video until we get to Bazaar Day, unless there's anything else important coming up that I forget about, like if there's any tutorial or anything that I've forgotten about. But I think it's just going to be quiet from now on, and what you see is what I'm going to be doing for the following days. You can see that my storage is already empty. So that is how quickly things fill up. It does not take very long to fill this up. Now, fortunately, most of the things I have in my inventory right now don't require storage to keep fresh, so that is it. So we are now on the 3rd. I'm going to play for the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, and then we will return on Bazaar Day. And that's probably gonna be the video format, is most weeks will only have maybe 1 or 2 videos as things get more and more routine. So I will be back in a few days. I'll show you how everything has been going and how far I've been able to expand my turnip field. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.